Hey, how's it going?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Doing really well. Doing really well. How's everything going for you? Yeah, how's everything going for you? Sorry, I was trying to fix something here.
Yeah, no, all going really good. We've just had a litter of puppies downstairs, so lots of music and lots of puppy cuddles, so that's good.
Nice, nice, nice. So we have Nicole Shortland with us. For just to kind of bring everybody up to par, if they're just meeting you for the first time, kind of tell everybody what your story is. What got you into music? Oh,
So when I was 13, I was at sports day at school, and my soon-to-be manager was renting out a room in our school for auditions for a girl band. I went in and auditioned with grass in my hair, along with two other girls from sports day, and we ended up signing with him as like a management company and production and publishing deal when I was 13. The other girls were 16. We then got a record deal with Mercury Universal.
mm,
So then we went a girl band. I went solo at 16, signed with Sony, and I did lots of different pop and dance and lots of stuff over the years. And then I had a top 10, the UK top 10 with DJ Fresh. I wrote for Little Mix, got a song on their number one album, Salute, called Towers. And then been singing and writing country like forever, but never actually released it. It was always for me, what I loved doing, what I wanted to do, what I did when I got home. And then one day, about 6 months ago, decided to just go ahead and release it. And I did. I wrote Ride. That was the first country track I wrote for the project. That came out a couple months back, and I got the next single coming out in just over a week now.
awesome, awesome. So, what was what was kind of the catalyst to make that transition over to country? I mean, I know you said you'd kind of been writing it for yourself, but was there a reason why you kind of decided to make that
Mm.
transition into a country musician?
I went through periods from like being a recording artist and a performing artist of falling out of love with music. And the number one thing to always bring me back was country.
Mm,
If it wasn't Dolly, it was Taylor. And most recently, at the beginning of the year, I'd fallen out of love with music again. And I was in the living room with my daughter, and I said, I'm not going to say it because there's one next to me, but I said Alexa, play Taylor Swift.
mm.
And then we were dancing around and singing along to Taylor Swift. And I just thought, this is what makes me happy. Music, I'm good at it. It's all I've ever done. But this particular music is what makes me happy. And I just put my love and my feelings first and just trusted myself, I guess. I just trusted that hopefully what I make and it's good enough to make other people happy too.
Yeah, for sure. That trust in yourself that you knew you were making the right decision is so important, and that self-awareness that it's like, okay, I'm going to do this for me is awesome, and I really respect that.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I've spent a long time because obviously I'm 27 now. I signed my first record deal at 13.
Hmm.
I spent the majority of that time doing what I thought was right or doing what I was told was right,
Hmm.
and never really had that freedom to become an adult and make those decisions and make mistakes because I had to do the right thing. And now I finally feel like I am. And it's just the most amazing feeling. And I do like the gigs and the performances and I sing my songs and there's a couple sing along bits. And it almost makes me emotional when people are singing along with the tracks that I wrote that make me feel really good, as opposed to it feeling like a job, if that makes
Mm.
sense. This is like my
Yep.
passion.
Yeah, that's really cool. Um, so signing a record deal, that's so young. You said you signed a record deal at the age of 13. W- What what was like so was there anything that you kind of like took away from that experience that once you kind of started going in for your playing music for yourself that you vowed that you'd never repeat? Was there any like mistakes that you made during that period?
Um, I definitely think like in the beginning of my career, the biggest mistake was creating music, liking music, and then moving on to the next song and waiting to have a plan in place before releasing anything. And that has been like something that has haunted me because I've not released that many songs in my life. I mean, quite a lot of songs, but I probably have the best part of 900 songs, good songs, unreleased, that I just never got around to creating a plan for. And so every time I write a song, I'm like slotting it into where it's going to come out. And I think the next track, so Out of Town Girl, is the last song that I wrote, the most recent song, but it's jumped the queue. It's now come second because I'm like, this is a good one. So I think the main thing I've taken from it is that kind of sitting on music and that waiting for the right time. You have to create the right time for your songs, to create the right time for everything in life. And that's something that I definitely realized. And plus, there are a lot of jobs, like in a label, especially a big one like Universal and Sony. There are a lot of jobs and a lot of people that get you to that point of releasing a song. And I've been figuring out that there is a lot to do. And I don't even know necessarily which gaps I need to fill in. So I'm figuring that out too.
Yeah, for sure. It's all, especially now, it's kind of like a learning process of figuring out where what you want to do as far as like covering certain aspects of the industry by yourself and what it is you enjoy versus what it is. It's like, yeah, I'm going to push that. If I can afford to pay somebody else to do that, I'm going to do that because running promotions or ads or, like whatever it is, isn't my strong suit, or writing EPKs or press releases or whatever, so.
Yeah.
So
There's definitely a big difference between business and the one.
Yeah. So looking forward to the new release that you have coming out in about a week or so. What's the story behind this song?
So this track I wrote it about my boyfriend. And as I was writing the song, I just felt like there needed to be a story behind it. And so I just sat down and I was just picturing it like it was a movie. And I was like, where could this story go next? And when I was writing it, it was like a really simple guitar loop from Xavier. And I kind of made the track like that. I reached out to him and showed him what I'd done with it. And he was like, wow, this is awesome. Can I work on it some more? So I sent him over the vocals. He's added loads of other layers to it. And it's gone from being this really basic storytelling track to this really beautiful, powerful song. It's about a girl that goes into a random bar, meets a random guy who happens to be on quite a crazy life journey, and deciding to leave everything behind and just jump on board and take that risk. And it's really cool because I know that I wrote it from my feelings, but the story is slightly different to reality. So I sing it and it's like it touches me, although the actual story doesn't relate to my life. But I love that. I like that. It's the kind of song that you want to listen to the words as you're hearing it.
Yeah. I was going to ask, but you kind of already asked this, if this song was pulled from personal.
Pulled from what? Sorry.
I'm sorry. I just saw. So no, I was saying that my next question was going to be, because you already kind of answered it, was I was going to ask if this song was pulled from personal experiences, but I guess probably not, since you already answered that question. But when you were working on this song, you said did you mention that you were pulling it from emotions, right? Or did I misunderstand that part?
Yeah. So the songs are either like exactly what's happened as what I'm writing about, or I take the feeling of the situation I'm in and try and turn that into something a little bit more relatable. Because not everyone has been in the exact same position as me. And most people probably wouldn't have been in this story of Out of Town Girl, but we've all had that love that you just do anything to keep it going. And that's what the song's about. So yeah, it's based off of feelings and emotions and kind of a moment of clarity is what the song's about.
Gotcha. Awesome. So as you're approaching the release, you're we said about about a week away. What's kind of running through your mind right now as we approach the release date?
Well, I have like a bunch of content to create, which I'm trying. I'm not the best at content creation, but I've got my plan. I've got just over a week to get everything ready and sent over to the PR company. And then just, to be honest, excitement. I'm so excited to have now just 2 songs out there because I've got around about 13 songs for this project ready to go. And when you look at my name, when you search Nicole Shortland as opposed to Nikki Ambers or Little Nikki, who I was before, there's one song. There's like 300 Instagram followers. Like, it's all very new. So it's just pure excitement. I'm thinking like very soon now it's going to be, people are going to know exactly what the full picture is. And that's just really exciting.
Nice. So when you look at the full picture as you see it now, what do you hope people take away from your music and this new kind of persona for yourself?
Hopefully just authenticity. I'm trying to be as real and honest as I can be. And hopefully they can see that and learn who I am as a person through my music, as opposed to, I used to feel before, like when you're doing R&B or dance, or for me anyway, I had to get into character to perform and get into character to record and to write. I was becoming Nikki. Whereas now that it's just what feels right and what's true inside me. I hope that people that listen and people that invest their time into me and my music can see that and see who I am, because that's literally all I want to do.
Yeah.
Is just be honest and real with my sound and with what makes me feel good.
Awesome. That's really cool. Like I'm all about authenticity and just being authentic to yourself and not trying to fit into what's popular or what the cool kids are doing nowadays. God, I sound like an old man. But it's really cool to kind of watch this transformation happen. Obviously, you have a lot of years of like experience working in with the record labels and all that stuff, but just to kind of now really be able to sink your teeth into a project that you're passionate about because you're passionate about it. I can't wait to see where this album, where this project, where like however whatever words we want to use to describe it, I can't wait to see where it takes you.
Thanks. I'm really, honestly, full of this like buzz and energy and this feeling that I'm doing the right thing. I just feel like this is good and this is right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm happy.
I can't agree more. So as you kind of look forward, when you need to kind of like step away or just kind of decompress, what are some of your hobbies? What do you do outside of the biz or outside of the industry to decompress?
Um, so I have a little daughter. She's 3.5. She comes to most gigs. She is involved in the writing process. She's there like through everything. So she's the main focus of my life. And then other than Vienna and music, it's the dogs. So now between us, we have about 10 dogs, I think,
Oh, wow.
and some puppies and a couple of cats. And all the dogs do their own thing. So I have whippets who like to run and race. And then I have huskies and a Belgian shepherd who like to pull the bike. And then we do agility and just a bunch of dog stuff, a bunch of getting muddy. My mum raises calves for a living. So we're down at the farm with the cows a lot. And feeding the little baby cows, and just basically, if it's not music and makeup, it's like animals and mud. So it's
Nice.
one or the other all the time.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
like that. Honestly, oddly, they go hand in hand. Having interviewed as so many musicians, just kind of when they're not being out on stage, singing, performing, having to promote themselves on social, being out in nature in some form of fashion, which being out on the farm is as much being out a part of nature as it is going walking through the trail or whatever it is. And just kind of having that opportunity to disconnect and just turn off the I don't want to say turn your brain off, but turn off the high frequency need to always be at your best is, that I think
Yeah.
being it just kind of all goes hand in hand.
Yeah. And I think the creative brain sees the world a little bit differently.
Mm,
And from my experience working and being around creatives, we get tired a lot, like mentally tired from taking in so much information. And for a lot of us, writing, performing is a great outlet for that. But equally, like you say, being around animals and nature, and I love trees.
yeah.
Being around all those things, like another really good way to kind of unwind and let loose and let the world pass you by and just enjoy the moment, I think.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So, if anybody wants to check out your music or interact with you on social, catch a show, whatever it is, where's the best place to find you?
So Instagram and Facebook is Nicole Shortland Country. Um, all my music so far, the one song so far, soon to be two, are on Spotify and YouTube. So there's Ride, which was my first single, which is Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming services. But everything is on my Instagram and my Facebook. I post them at the same time. I have Twitter. I have
Yes.
I think it's X now. I have X. I
Yeah,
have 2 followers. Um, but I used to love it. And now I go on it and I can't work my way around it. So I'll get used to that one again.
yeah,
But mainly Instagram and Facebook is the way to be.
yeah, for sure. It's I'm in the same boat. Like I I'll still call it Twitter forever. Like calling it X just in my uh isn't in my brain. So, but
No. TikTok is
yeah,
also Nicole Shortland Country. But I can't understand that app either. They're very similar.
yeah.
I get easily confused. But I'm trying to up my social game.
Hey, it's all a process right now, and there's so many social platforms that people need to be, or that quote unquote people need to be on and be active on.
Mm,
It's almost a full time job just to keep yourself relevant on any of the social medias. So, but
yeah, definitely.
yeah,
And
but
keeping up to date with it.
yeah, 100%. But I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat with us. If there's anything we can ever do for you, please let me know. And we'll kind of just stay in contact through Instagram and all that fun stuff. I really appreciate you taking the time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's been
Yeah,
brilliant.
absolutely. You have a great rest of your day, and we're going to play a little musical roulette here and queue up our next guest. And Nicole Shortland, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. And we'll talk to you later.